As leaders and advocates of the project teams, the project managers need to organize different tasks, time, budget, as well as resources for the projects of all sizes across multiple industries. The responsibilities of the project managers include keeping the involved team members on track and thus delivering the end result on time and within budget. Without the presence of effective project managers, the project would lack organization and thus would become vulnerable to potential failure. Therefore, effective project management serves to be an important job and thus requires special skills. If you are interested in a career in project management, then you must take the highly productive and result-oriented project management crash course to acquire the necessary skills. Even if you do not have a proper degree in management, you can still obtain the professional certifications through the proper project management crash course. Not only does this course help you in learning the ins and outs of managing a project properly, it also imparts you the necessary confidence that is required in managing people and the opportunity to make it big in your successful career. Because the project management crash course offers the student ample knowledge and training, the students already attain a comprehension about their lucrative career as they would enter this industry. When the students get to manage a real project as potential project managers, they would thus feel confident, capable, and will understand their duties and responsibilities toward the given project properly. To top it all, the students would also come to know about the details of being a successful project manager, like the commitment to time, the attention to detail with respect to project, quality, the degree of the organization, and various other vital aspects of success. Therefore, with proper project management crash course, the students can dream of being future leading project managers and achieving success in their life. Phase 1. Overview of Project Management. In this phase of the detailed project management crash course, the students are given the complete knowledge about an overview of project management and its theories. The candidates are made to learn about the definition, history, and the different project management theories, techniques, and tools to guide them through any successful project and its implementation. Project management is a specialized discipline in the study of management wherein the candidates are educated and enlightened about the different aspects of managing a given project efficiently. It includes the process of initiation, planning, execution, controlling, and the final closing of the given work or project performed by a particular team to attain some goals and satisfy certain success criteria. In a typical project management course, it is important to begin the study with the basic understanding of the most important aspect of overall course, the project. A project can be defined as a temporary endeavor that has been designed towards producing a distinct product, result, or some services within the premises of a defined start and end period. Projects are usually constrained by time and are thus temporary. On the other aspect, the projects are also constrained by some deliverables or the available funding. The projects in any project management system are undertaken for meeting some unique objectives and goals, and also to bring about some beneficial modifications or additional value. The temporary characteristic of the project is completely in contrast to the business operations, which tend to be permanent nature. The various kinds of business operations can also be repetitive, semi-permanent, or completely permanent functional processes that are aimed at producing products or specific services. In practical application, the management of unique production approaches would require the development of unique technical skills as well as management strategies. In any typical project management crash course, it is imperative to begin with the basic understanding of the meaning of projects and the differences between projects and business operations. The main challenge of any project management course is to enlighten the candidates about the effective methodologies for achieving the different project goals under the specified constraints. This information is to be formulated in the proper project documentation that has to be created at the starting of the project development process. Some of the primary constraints of any project management system include time, budget, scope, and quality. Project management also comes with a secondary form of project challenge, which includes the optimization of the allocation of essential resources and then applying the same to satisfy the predefined goals and objectives. History of project management. Before the detailed study of the project management course begins, it is imperative for the candidates to understand about its in-depth knowledge and methodologies of the same. The knowledge of the history of project management is vital for gaining a deeper insight into this broad subject. Until the time of 1900, the projects of civil engineering were usually managed and implemented by the team of creative designers, architects, master builder, and engineers all by themselves. During the time of the 1950s, the leading organizations began applying systematic project management strategies and tools to complete the complicated engineering projects. Like an essential educational and professional discipline, the overall concept of project management came out from various fields of project applications in the past. These applications included major projects like civil engineering, construction, and complex defense activities. In the history of project management, the two leading forefathers who are named and remembered are Henry Gantt and Henry Fayol. Henry Gantt is referred to as the father of control and planning techniques, and he is renowned for his very famous Gantt chart, which serves as an effective project management tool. Henry Fayol is known for his impeccable creation of the major 5 functions of management that form the fundamental of the body of deep knowledge linked with effective project management. Both Fayol and Gantt had been the pupils of the theories of scientific management of Frederick Winslow Taylor. Taylor's work is considered to be the foundation of modern theories of project management and its tools like resource allocation and WBS, or work breakdown structure. The time of the 1950s has been regarded as the beginning of modern project management. Through this period, several core engineering aspects have come together to function as one unit. The concept of project management had become known as a form of distinct discipline in both education and profession since then. It arises from the disciplines of management along with specialized engineering model. In the US, much before the time of the 1950s, several major projects had been managed on the basis of ad hoc with the help of specialized Gantt charts and various informal tools and techniques. During the time, the 2 major mathematical models for project schedules were developed. These were the CPM, or Critical Path Method, and PERT, or Program Evaluation and Review Technique. The CPM project scheduling technique was developed in the form of a joint coordination between Remington Rand Corporation and DuPont Corporation. This project management technique was used for the management of the projects related to plant maintenance. Similarly, the PERT project management technique had been devised by the United States Navy Special Projects Office in coordination with the Booz Allen Hamilton and Lockheed Corporation. This specialized technique was developed as a major portion of the Polaris missile submarine program. Both the project management scheduling programs, CPM and PERT, are quite similar to each other with respect to their approach. However, there are major differences in the two of them. CPM technique is usually used for project management projects that predict some periods of deterministic activity. In this technique, the time of activity being carried out is known in advance. On the other hand, The technique of PERT allows only the time related to the stochastic activities, in which the time of each activity is highly varied or unknown. Due to these major differences, both PERT and CPM project management scheduling techniques are used in completely different contexts. Soon after their advent and implementation, these mathematical techniques spread to be used by several enterprises. During the same time, as the rapid development of the scheduling models of project management was taking place, advanced technology for processes like effective cost management, cost estimation of the project, along with engineering economics, was also at its peak. These were under constant developments and modifications by the pioneering works of the renowned Hans Lang and several others. During the time of 1956, the now AACE, or American Association of Cost Engineers International, had been formed by the practitioners of effective project management, as well as the associated rules of scheduling, planning, cost schedule control, cost estimating, and overall project control. The AACE continued with its pioneering job. It was in 2006 that it released the first ever integration method for program portfolio as well as project management, known as the Total Cost Management Framework. The IPMA, or International Project Management Association, had been founded during the time of 1967 in Europe. This system served as a federation of various national projects and respective management associations. IPMA continues to maintain the original federal structure until today. Now it includes several member associations present on each continent except for Antarctica. IPMA aims to offer a 4-level certification program to the candidates for complete project management crash course under the IPMA Competence Baseline, or ICB. This covers the contextual, technical, as well as behavioral competencies of any successful project management. During the time of 1969, PMI, or Project Management Institute, had been formed in the United States. It is the role of the PMI to publish PMBOK, a guide to the project management body of knowledge book. This journal describes the different practices of effective project management that would be common to several projects worldwide. PMI also offers a range of educational certifications and project management crash courses to the aspiring candidates. Phase 2. Approaches to project management. During the second phase of the project management crash course, the students are made aware of the different approaches used in this study as proposed by the leading scientists and theorists. It gives an expansive and in-depth knowledge about this important subject to the students, about the different methodologies used for the study of effective management and the overall importance of the same. Approaches. There are various kinds of approaches when it comes to the organization and completion of projects and activities. Some of these include phased, incremental, lean, and iterative approaches. In addition to this, there are various extensions as well to the overall project planning and organization based on the outcomes that are product-based or on activities that are process-based approaches. Irrespective of the methodology that has been employed, proper consideration should be given to the entire project objectives, time frame, and the total cost, along with different roles and responsibilities of the participants involved in the given project management system. Phase approach. This approach is also known by the name stage approach to effective project management. This approach works on the principle of breaking down and then managing the work across several steps that need to get completed. This technique is also referred to as the traditional approach or waterfall technique. Though this approach might vary, it usually consists of 5 different process areas along with the control and 4 phases: initiation, overcalling, planning and designing, construction, monitoring and controlling, completion and closing. Several industries and organizations make use of different types of the stages of project development and management. It is also quite common for these stages to be renamed or referred by different terms as per the organizational goals and objectives. For instance, if the design and construction of a brick and mortar project is going on, then this project might typically consist of major stages of pre-planning, conceptualization and design, a schematic presentation, overall design development, drawings of construction, or some construction documentation, and finally, the overall construction administration. The phased approach of project management is supposed to work great for the small and well-defined projects. However, this approach might result in several challenges as well as failures on bigger projects that tend to be more complex or come with added risk and ambiguities. Lean approach. This approach of effective project management makes use of the principle derived from the process of lean manufacturing. This approach thus focuses on the delivery of great value with reduced timeline and less wastage of the available resources. Incremental and iterative approach. During the stages of a critical study of the overall project development and management, this stage is taught with great depth to the students. Unlike other approaches, this approach of project management is given more emphasis during the project management crash course owing to its importance in this study. It is observed that phased approach of project management is not suited for the projects that tend to be large-scale or multi-company in nature. These projects tend to have undefined, ambiguous, and rapidly changing prerequisites. The phase approach also does not work well with those projects which have a high degree of potential risk, dependency, along with rapidly changing technologies. The project manager's cone of uncertainty concludes some of these projects to be based on the planning that has to be made during the initial phase of any project. This might result in the higher degree of risk and uncertainty. This is especially significant due to the fact that software development is considered to be the realization of some new project. These types of complexities are handled in a better manner with some expensive and more exploratory approach as the incremental or iterative approach of project management. Various models of incremental and iterative project management are considered to have been evolved. These include the dynamic systems development, agile project management, as well as extreme project management. Critical chain approach of project management. CCPM, or critical chain project management, is considered to be an application of TOC, or theory of constraints. This approach refers to the planning as well as the management of projects using this technique. It has been designed for dealing with certain uncertainties that are quite inherent in the management of projects. It takes into consideration the limited availability of the new raw materials or resources like human skills, physical resources, support capacity, along with management skills. These resources need to be executed well for the proper project management to take place. The primary goal of this approach is taught to the students during the second phase of Project Management Crash Course is that it aims to increase the flow of different projects within any organization. This is referred to as the overall throughput. By the application of the first 3 steps of the TOC focusing steps, identification of the system constraints as well as the resources of the overall projects take place. For exploiting the available resources and constraints, the different kinds of tasks on the approach of the critical chain are provided priority over all the other activities of project management. In the end, All the projects are properly planned as well as managed for ensuring that the constraints and available resources have become ready during the starting of the critical chain process of project management that would subordinate all the remaining resources to this approach. Project-based approach of project planning. This approach of project planning is referred to as a structured technique of effective project management. This approach is based on the identification of all the available products or the project deliverables that would contribute towards the achievement of the project goals and objectives. Therefore, this approach defines an effective project planning and management to be result-oriented rather than being task or activity-oriented. PRINCE2 is considered to be the most famous implementation of this project management approach. Process-based project management. The implementation of the process-based project management gets its force through the utilization of various maturity models like CMMI or Capability Maturity Model Integration and OPM3. This approach also uses the model of ISO IEC 15504 SPICE or Software Process Improvement and Capability Estimation. In contrast to the CMM model of SEI, the OPM3 model of maturity explains the different processes of project management and how these processes are capable of functioning successfully, predictably, and consistently, such as to bring about the enactment of the different strategies of a particular organization. Project-based production management. This approach of project and product management is considered as the application of different management operations that are necessary for the successful delivery of the capital projects. The project-based production management and its framework have been based on a particular project as the view of the production system. In this approach, the project gets transformed into the desired outputs in the form of goods and services from the given inputs as information, raw materials, plant and machinery, labor, and so more. BRM or Benefits Realization Management. BRM or Benefits Realization Management tends to enhance the normal techniques of effective project management. It achieves the same by focusing on the benefits or outcomes of certain projects instead of the outputs of the products involved in any project management. After this, the BRM process of project management measures the degree of this happening in order to maintain a particular project on its track. This approach helps in reducing the potential risk of the complete project in case of a failure. This is achieved by delivering only what has been agreed upon as the outputs or requirements, however, failing to obtain or deliver the desired benefits out of those requirements. Moreover, the BRM approach or practices aimed at ensuring the proper alignment between business strategies and project outcomes. The overall effectiveness of these approaches or practices has been supported by a recent research that proves the BRM approaches or practices that tend to influence the success of the project from the point of strategic planning across different industries, organizations, and countries. An instance of the delivery of a certain project to meet the given requirements could be agreeing towards the delivery of the computer system. This will help in the processing of staff data and managing holiday, payroll, as well as records of staff personnel. Under the proper process of BRM, the agreement could be towards achieving a certain reduction in a number of staff hours that could be required for processing and maintaining staff data. EVM or Earned Value Management. This approach of effective project management helps in the extending of project management with the use of helpful techniques for improving the overall project monitoring and planning. This approach helps in illustrating the progress of project towards its completion with respect to the total cost and work done for the same. Phase 3. Understanding different process groups of project management. This is another important phase of project management crash course that aims to teach the students about the different process groups that are involved in the entire process. This knowledge serves to be vital in understanding the role of different process groups towards effective project planning, development, and management. Depending on the type of methodology used for project management, the overall project management consists of several elements, which might be several process groups of project management, along with a control system. Irrespective of the terminology or methodology used, the basic process of project management or its development stages would be utilized. The various types of process groups might include the following: initiating, planning, producing and executing, monitoring and controlling, completion or closing. In different environments of project development or management, along with a major exploratory element of research and development, the different stages of process groups might be supplemented with specific decision points over which the continuation of the project has been debated or decided. An example of the same is the phase gate model of project management. Initiating. The process of initiation of the project management helps in determining the scope and nature of the given project. In case the performance of this stage is not up to the mark, then there are lesser chances of the project being successful in satisfying the needs and objectives of the business. The controls of the key projects that are needed here imply the understanding of the particular business environment and to ensure that all the essential controls have been incorporated into the desired project. Any sort of deficiency into the same must be reported, and thus a proper recommendation should be made to fix the situation. The stage of initiation must include a proper plan that would encompass the following domains: analysis of the business requirements and needs in terms of measurable goals, review of the ongoing operations, financial study and analysis of the overall benefits and costs that are included in the budget, analysis of stakeholder, including the deliverables, the schedules, cost, and task, SWOT analysis signifying the strengths, weaknesses, threats, and available opportunities to the business. Planning stage. After the completion of the initiation stage, the given project has to be planned out to satiate an appropriate state of detailing. The main goal of this stage is the overall planning of time, resources, and cost involved for adequately estimating the amount of needed work for effectively managing the potential risk involved in any project development, management, and execution. Like in the process group of the initiation stage, the possibility of a failure to plan adequately significantly reduces the chance of the given project towards achieving its goals in a successful manner. The planning stage of a given project includes the following: determination of the process of planning, either through level of detail or other methods, development of the given scope statement, selection of a proper planning team, identification of the deliverables and the creation of the structure of proper work breakdown, identification of the necessary activities for completing the available deliverables, and then networking of the activities as per the logical sequence, estimation of the requirements of resources needed to complete the set of activities, estimation of the total time and cost needed for completing the activities, development of a proper schedule, development of the needed budget, proper risk planning, development of the quality assurance standards, gaining formal permission to begin the project work. Several more processes like the planning for proper scope management and communication in any project management identification of different roles and responsibilities, determination of what to buy for the given project, as well as holding the kick-off meeting have also been advised as per the standards of proper project management. For any new projects related to product development, the conceptualization of the design, as well as the operation of the product, might be carried out in a concurrent manner with proper activities related to project planning. This might also help in informing the planning team about the identifiable deliverables along with planning activities. Execution stage. During the execution stage of project development and management, it must be known about the terms of project planning that need to be executed properly. The implementation or execution phase of project management teaches the students about the different methodologies used for carrying out proper project completion. This phase ensures the execution of the deliverables of the project management planning in a proper manner. The execution phase also involves the processes like allocation, cooperation, and overall management of the available resources like human resources, budgets, materials, and so more. The output of the execution phase of project management is considered to be the deliverables of the project. Monitoring and controlling stage. The monitoring and controlling phase of project development and management comprises the different processes that are performed by observing the results of project execution such that the potential risks and problems are identified in a proper and timely manner for the corrective actions to be taken as necessary. This helps in the overall controlling of the given project and its activities. The main benefit of this phase of project management is that one can observe effective project performance that can be measured on a regular basis for identifying the differences from the planning stage of project management. The stage of monitoring and controlling includes the following: measurement of the activities of the ongoing project, monitoring of the variables of the given project like scope, efforts, cost, and so more against the planning of project management as well as the project performance. Identification of the necessary corrective actions for addressing the present issues as well as risks properly. Influencing of the available factors that might help in circumventing the integrated project change control such that only approved modifications are executed. In a typical multi-phase or multi-stage project, the monitoring and controlling processes are also used for providing a proper feedback among different project phases. This is done to implement the remedial and corrective actions for bringing the project into proper compliance with the given plan of project management. The overall project maintenance tends to be an ongoing process and includes the following: continuation of providing support to the end users, correction of available errors, updating the available product from time to time. In this phase of project development and management, the auditors need to pay attention to the effectiveness and quickness with which the problems of the users are resolved. Across the entire course of any specific construction project, the scope of work might change. Change or modifications is a normal process and must be considered as an expected part of the overall construction process. The needed changes could be the result of essential design modifications, material availability, differences in the site conditions, changes as requested by the contractor, value engineering, as well as due to the impact of the third parties. Beyond the execution of the required changes in the given field, the modification or changes usually need to be properly documented for showing the original construction. This stage is known as effective change management. Therefore, the owner of the project usually needs to maintain the final record for showing all the changes or any modification that might change the tangible sections of the finished project. The final record is prepared on the basis of the contract documents and might be limited to the available design drawings. The final product of the efforts is usually termed as the built drawings or merely as built. The necessary requirement for offering them considered to be a norm in the contracts of construction. The document management of the construction project is a significantly important activity to be undertaken with the help of some desktop software or online system. It could also be maintained through some manual or physical documentation. The increase in the legality with respect to the construction projects or industries, the maintenance of proper correct documents has resulted in the increase of proper documentation management and its application. While the modifications are applied to the given project, the viability and legitimacy of the project must be reassessed. It is vital to keep the sight of the starting objectives and project goals. As the changes would accumulate, the predicted results might not be able to justify the originally suggested investments with respect to the project. The successful development and management of any project helps in the identification of these components and also aids in the monitoring and tracking of the progress to stay under the time frame as well as cost estimates that had been outlined at the commencement of the given project. Closing stage. The closing phase of project development and management consists of the formal acceptance of the completed project and thus ends the same. The administrative activities in this stage consist of the archiving of the necessary files as the documenting lessons are learned. The closing or completing a phase of the project includes the following. Contract closure. This refers to the completion and settlement of the given contract and then closing the contract that had been applicable to the given phase of the project or the complete project itself. Project closure. It signifies the finalizing of the entire set of activities throughout the different process groups of the given project to be formally closed. In this closing or completing a phase of project management, post-implementation feedback or review stage is also included. This is an important phase of any project or for the entire project team as it enables the learning process from the experience of the overall project development, planning, execution, and management. It also calls for the applying of the learning in the future projects. Usually, a post-implementation review phase of the project comprises the lookout for things that had gone well and then the analysis of the factors that went poorly on the given project for coming up with necessary lessons from the project experience. Project controlling and control systems. The stage of project controlling is also referred to as cost engineering. This stage must be established in the form of an independent function in any project development and management. It helps in the implementation of the controlling and verification function at the same time of the processing of a particular project. This is done to ensure the reinforcement of the defined performance along with formal goals. The main tasks involved in the process of project controlling and control systems include creating a proper infrastructure for ensuring the supply of correct and reliable information along with the update of the same, establishing a proper way of communication between the different disparities of the given project parameters, developing the information technology for the project that is based on the intranet or on determining the project's key performance indicator or KPI system, diverging the analysis as well as the generation of the available proposals for the potential regulations of the project, establishing proper methods for accomplishing a proper structure of the project, workflow organization of the project, and the overall control and governance of the project, creating transparency among the major project parameters. The fulfillment, as well as the implementation of such tasks or processes, can be achieved by the application of particular methods along with instruments of proper project planning and implementation. The methods of effective project controlling that can be utilized are as follows: investment analysis, simulation calculations, cost-benefit calculation, expert surveys, value-benefit calculation, surcharge calculations, risk profile calculations, cost trends calculations, milestone trend calculations, actual target comparison. The overall process of project controlling is an important element of the given project that helps to keep the same on track, within budget, and within the time frame. The process of project controlling starts quite early in any project development cycle and tends to finish quite late in the given project after the post-implementation reviewing process. This includes the need of thorough involvement of all the steps in the process. The projects could be reviewed or audited during the process of project development as it is in progress. The formal audits are usually compliance or risk-based, and the overall management will help in directing the objectives of the given audit. The proper examination might refer to the comparison of the reviewed processes of the project management. Every individual project should be analyzed to determine the correct amount of control that might be needed. For instance, too much of control could be time-consuming, and too less of control could be highly risky. If the overall process of project controlling is not implemented effectively, then the total cost of the project or business can be claimed on the basis of certain errors as well as fixes. The project control system might be needed for determining the natural resources, costs, quality, communication, risks, procurement, change, time, and so many factors. In addition to this, the auditors or the reviewers should take into the consideration the importance of the financial statements to any project, the number of project controls that exist, and the reliability of the stakeholders on the project controls. The auditors must review the overall project development process as well as procedures with respect to the method of their implementation. The overall process of project development, along with the quality of the end product, should also be analyzed if requested or needed. Any particular business might wish that the auditing firm should be involved in the project planning process for catching the problems quite earlier, such that if any errors occur, this can be fixed easily. An auditor or reviewer could serve to be significant control consultants by being a part of the project development team or even an independent auditors to be the part of some audit. Various businesses sometimes make use of the formal systems for the process of project development. These systems help in assuring the businesses that the overall project is being developed successfully. A typical formal process tends to be more effective towards the creation of strong project controls. The project auditors should be able to review the process of project control to confirm that it is designed properly and is following the project's practice. A sound formal system of the project development plan includes the following: a well-defined strategy for aligning the development of the broader objectives of the organization, standards for the new systems, policies of project management for proper budgeting and timing, procedures for describing different processes, evaluating the quality of modification or change. Therefore, through the detailed study of each aspect of effective project management, it can be concluded that the project management crash course helps in providing valuable knowledge to the students. The course teaches how to plan and organize, communicate well with team members, utilize various available resources and management tools, apply effective leadership skills, use various productive project management methodologies like Agile, collaborate with various cross-functional teams, estimate the overall budget, time and cost, facilitate meetings, and thus manage multiple projects in a seamless manner. If you are headed out to secure a big position in the field of business enterprise, setup of a company, entrepreneurship, or any organization in the world, then you need to have effective project management